It's crazy to think that just a few years back, AI felt like something out of a
It
movie.
really did. But now it's everywhere, right? Like it's practically running our lives.
Yeah.
And you sent over this super interesting text about
Yeah.
about how AI is impacting like everything. So I figured, why not? Let's dive in
Yeah.
and see what it has to say about both the exciting opportunities, but also, the potential challenges, right?
Right, right. Because it's a powerful tool. We have to be careful with it.
Absolutely.
What I find interesting about this particular piece is how it sort of goes beyond just the hype,
Yeah.
the fear mongering that we
Yeah.
always hear about AI,
Mm.
and it actually delves into you know specific examples
Yeah.
of how this technology is already being used
Right.
to solve real world problems.
Okay, so when you say real world problems, like can you give me a concrete example?
Oh, absolutely. Let's start with healthcare.
This source talks about how AI is being used to develop personalized cancer treatments.
Wow.
So imagine a future where instead of, this one size fits all approach to treating cancer,
Right.
doctors can use AI to analyze your specific genetic makeup and your tumor characteristics to design a treatment plan.
Mm.
It's just for you.
That's incredible.
Wow.
So AI isn't just about like robots and self-driving cars. It's
Right.
also about deeply personalizing our healthcare.
Yes.
That's amazing. What about the impact on education? I remember reading something about AI tutors.
Right.
Is that what the source is referring to?
It goes beyond just tutoring.
Okay.
This source is highlighting, uh, these AI-powered learning platforms
Okay.
that can adapt to each student's individual needs
Wow.
and learning style.
Uh-huh.
So imagine a classroom where every student,
Yeah.
regardless of their background or their learning challenges, can access a personalized learning experience.
That sounds incredible. It sounds like something out of like a utopian novel or something.
It does.
But
But AI's impact, I mean, it extends beyond just these two fields, right?
absolutely. This source dives into how AI is being used to tackle environmental challenges.
Okay.
For example, AI algorithms are being used to optimize the efficiency of solar panels,
Hmm.
so we can harness renewable energy more effectively.
That's fascinating.
Right.
So AI can help us create a greener future.
Yes.
Wow. I'm starting to see how this technology can really touch so many different aspects of our lives.
Yes, and it goes even further.
Okay.
AI is being used to analyze these massive data sets of environmental data
Right.
to predict and mitigate the impact of natural disasters.
Oh, wow.
So imagine a world where we can anticipate and
Yeah.
prepare for floods, droughts,
Yeah.
and other climate-related events with much greater accuracy.
That would be a game changer, especially in a world that's increasingly impacted by climate change.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I have to ask, this all sounds a bit too good to be true.
Well,
I mean, aren't there downsides? Aren't there potential downsides to this technology as well?
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, with any powerful technology, there are potential risks and challenges that
Yeah.
we have to think about.
Right.
One of the most talked about is the impact of AI on the job market.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about AI taking our jobs.
Yeah.
Is that something this source um, addresses?
It does, and it does it in a way that doesn't just fuel fear.
Go ahead.
It encourages us to think critically about how we can adapt
Okay.
to these changes.
Okay.
It suggests that while AI may automate certain tasks, it will also create new opportunities in
Right.
fields that we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not necessarily about jobs disappearing, but
Right.
but rather about jobs like evolving.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit more optimistic.
Okay.
I have to admit.
It's about preparing ourselves
Yeah.
for a future where human skills and AI capabilities work together.
Right.
It's about lifelong learning
Yeah.
and adapting to a rapidly changing world.
I'm really starting to appreciate the balanced perspective that this source is offering.
Good.
I mean, it's acknowledging the potential downsides, but it's also highlighting the incredible opportunities that
Mm.
AI presents.
Uh-huh.
But there must be more to this story, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what other challenges does this source explore?
One of the most fascinating things is how it delves into this question of accountability
Okay.
when it comes to AI systems.
Hmm.
Because as AI becomes more sophisticated, it it really raises questions about responsibility
Right.
and liability.
Okay, can you give me an example? I'm having trouble wrapping my head around like what you mean by accountability in the context of AI.
Sure, sure. Think about self-driving cars. If a self-driving car gets into an accident, who is responsible?
Right.
Is it the manufacturer of the car?
Yeah.
Is it the programmer who wrote the software?
Right.
Or is it the person who was in the car, even if they weren't actively driving?
That's a That's a really thought-provoking question. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It sounds like AI is like forcing us to rethink like our legal and ethical frameworks.
Exactly. And that's one of the key takeaways from this source.
Okay.
It's not enough to simply, marvel at the technological advancements.
Right.
We also need to engage in these deep and meaningful
Yeah.
conversations about how we ensure
Right.
its
Right.
responsible development and use.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Yeah.
It's about how we choose to use it
Right.
and the safeguards we put in place.
Exactly.
I'm starting to realize that AI is more than just a technological innovation.
Yeah.
It's a societal one.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
AI has the potential to reshape not just our industries and
Oh, yeah.
economies, but our values, our laws,
Right.
and even our understanding of what it means to be human.
I'm hooked. I'm totally hooked.
Yeah.
This source is really pushing me to think differently about AI.
That's what we want.
Uh, is there anything else in this text that you think is particularly important for our listeners to know?
Well, one more thing that stood out to me was the discussion of AI's potential impact on global security.
Okay.
The source talks about how AI is being used to develop autonomous weapon systems.
Autonomous weapon systems. That sounds a little scary.
It's definitely a controversial topic.
Right.
The development of weapons that can make life or death decisions
Right.
without human intervention
Yeah.
raises some
Yeah.
significant ethical and security concerns.
It sounds like something out of like a dystopian science fiction film.
It's
Is there anything being done to address these concerns?
the source discusses how various organizations and experts are working to establish international guidelines and regulations
Yeah.
to govern the development and use of AI,
Okay.
particularly in these sensitive areas like autonomous weapon systems.
That's somewhat reassuring.
Yeah.
It sounds like there are people who are taking these risks seriously,
Yes,
but this is a lot to process. We've covered so much ground already.
it's true. We've gone from personalized medicine to self-driving cars to autonomous weapons.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I think before we move on, I want to pause for a moment and just let our listeners kind of absorb all this information.
That's a good idea. Take some time to digest these complex issues
Right.
and consider, what they mean for us individually, but also as a society.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just finished talking about how AI can be applied to like healthcare, education, and even environmental sustainability. It's a really powerful technology that's already changing the world around us.
Yeah, yeah. It's really what's really striking about this source is that it really emphasizes the transformative potential of AI across various sectors.
Oh, okay.
It goes beyond just identifying the potential applications. It dives into the tangible ways that AI is actually being implemented today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, the source describes how AI is revolutionizing the financial industry.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
How is AI changing the world of finance?
Well, you see AI algorithms, they're incredibly adept at analyzing these vast quantities of data
Right.
to identify patterns and trends that humans they might miss.
Uh-huh.
And this capability is particularly valuable in finance, where decisions often rely on understanding these really complex market dynamics
Right.
and assessing risk.
Can you give me a specific example?
Sure. Sure. The source mentions how some financial institutions are actually using AI-powered systems to detect fraudulent transactions in real time.
Hmm.
These systems can sift through millions of transactions, flagging suspicious activity
Uh-huh.
with remarkable accuracy.
That's incredible.
And this not only helps protect consumers and businesses from financial losses, but also strengthens the integrity of the entire financial system.
It's amazing to think that AI is playing such a vital role in safeguarding our financial well-being.
It really is.
I remember reading about how AI is being used to create personalized financial advice.
Yes.
Is that something that this source touches on as well?
Yes, absolutely. The source highlights how AI is being used to develop these robo-advisors
Oh, okay.
that provide personalized investment recommendations
Hmm.
based on your individual financial goals
Yeah.
and risk tolerance.
So these AI-driven platforms are making financial advice
Yes.
more accessible
More accessible, more affordable,
in the form of.
empowering individuals
Mhm.
to make smarter investment decisions.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Uh-huh.
AI seems to be all about this personalization and efficiency,
Yes.
whether it's in healthcare, education, or even finance.
That's right.
But I'm also starting to wonder about the implications for human expertise.
Yeah.
Does this mean that doctors, teachers, and financial advisors will eventually be replaced by AI?
That's a very complex question and one that this source really grapples with thoughtfully.
Okay.
While it's true that AI can automate certain tasks that are traditionally performed by humans,
Yeah.
it also emphasizes the importance of human judgment and
Mhm.
intuition
Okay.
in many fields.
So you're saying it's not a simple case of like AI versus humans.
No, not at all.
It's more about finding ways for AI and human expertise to kind of like complement each other.
Exactly. The source suggests that the most successful applications of AI will be those that leverage the strengths of both humans and machines.
Okay.
So, for example, in healthcare, AI can assist doctors in making diagnoses
Uh-huh.
by analyzing medical images and patient data,
Right.
but the final decision making
Right.
and the treatment planning will likely remain in the hands of human physicians.
That makes sense. AI can provide the valuable insights and support,
Yes.
but ultimately it's the human touch
Yes.
that's essential in so many fields.
Absolutely.
The source is really challenging. Like, my preconceived notions about AI,
Okay.
I used to think of it as something that would eventually replace human workers.
A lot of people do.
But now I'm starting to see it as a tool that can augment human capabilities
sure.
and help us solve these complex problems more effectively.
That's a great insight. This source is really about encouraging us to think beyond these simplistic narratives of AI as either a savior or a threat.
Right. Right.
It's about understanding the nuances of this technology
Right.
and exploring its potential
Yeah.
to create a better future.
Speaking of a better future, I'm curious about the role of AI in addressing global challenges.
Uh-huh.
We've touched on environmental sustainability, but
Right.
are there other areas where AI can make a positive impact?
Yes, the source highlights several other examples.
Okay.
One that I found particularly inspiring is the use of AI to improve access to clean water
Mm,
in developing countries.
really? How does AI help with that?
Well, AI-powered systems can be used to monitor water quality
Oh, okay.
in real time,
Uh-huh.
identify potential contamination sources,
All right.
and optimize the distribution of water resources.
Wow.
This is especially critical in areas where access to clean water is limited and traditional monitoring methods are inadequate.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI has the potential to improve the lives of millions of people around the world.
It really does.
But I'm also aware of the potential risks associated with this technology.
Of course.
I mean, we've talked about the potential impact on the job market,
Right.
the ethical implications of autonomous weapons systems.
Right.
Are there other potential downsides that this source explores?
Well, one of the most thought-provoking discussions in this source really centers around the potential for AI to exacerbate existing inequalities.
Oh, okay.
If access to these AI-powered tools and resources is unevenly distributed,
Right.
it could widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
That's a valid concern. I
Yeah.
mean, we've seen how technology can sometimes amplify social and economic disparities.
Right.
What steps can be taken to like mitigate this risk?
Well, the source emphasizes the importance of ensuring equitable access
Yeah.
to AI education and training.
Right.
If everyone has the opportunity to develop the skills needed to thrive
Yeah.
in an AI-powered world,
Yeah.
then we can create a more inclusive and just society.
Right. Right.
It also highlights the need for responsible AI development that
Yeah.
that prioritizes fairness and transparency,
Okay.
you know.
It's encouraging to hear that these issues are being taken seriously.
Yes, they are.
This source is really prompting me to think critically about the ethical and societal implications of AI.
Good, good.
I'm starting to see that it's not just about the technology itself.
Well,
It's about how we choose to use it and the values we
yeah.
embed in its development.
It's about the human element,
Yeah.
you know.
What else does the source have to say about the future of AI?
Well, one of the key takeaways from this source is that the future of AI is not predetermined.
Okay.
It's up to us as individuals and as a
Yeah.
society
Yeah.
to decide how we want to shape this technology
Right.
and what kind of world we want to create with it.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
It's both empowering and a little daunting
Mm.
to realize that we have such a significant role to play
We do.
in shaping the future of AI.
It's a responsibility that
Yeah.
that we should not take lightly.
Right.
The choices that we make today will have a profound impact on the world of tomorrow.
I'm I'm sensing a theme emerging from this source.
Okay.
It's not just about the technical aspects of AI.
Right.
It's about the human element.
Yep.
It's about our values,
as
our ethics,
Let's
and
say-
our vision for the future.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
This source is ultimately about encouraging us to engage in a deeper conversation about the role of AI in our lives.
Right.
And to take an active role in shaping its development and deployment.
This deep dive has been quite a journey so far.
It has.
We've explored the incredible potential of AI,
Yeah.
the very real risks that it presents,
Yeah.
and the ethical considerations that are absolutely crucial to navigate.
Yes. Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Well, the source concludes by highlighting the importance of fostering a global dialogue on AI and creating a framework for its responsible development and use.
A global dialogue. What does that look like in practice?
Well, it involves bringing together diverse perspectives
Okay.
from governments, from industry leaders, from researchers, from ethicists and citizens from all around the world
Wow.
to discuss the challenges and opportunities presented by AI.
Okay.
It's about finding common ground and working together
Right.
to ensure that this powerful technology is used for the benefit of all humanity.
It's a tall order,
It is.
but it sounds like a necessary one.
It is a necessary one.
I'm starting to understand why this source is so compelling.
Good.
It's not just a technical analysis of AI.
Yeah.
It's a call to action.
It is.
It's an invitation to participate in shaping the future of this transformative technology.
You've captured the essence of this source
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we're not passive bystanders in the AI revolution.
Yeah.
We have the power and the responsibility
Yes.
to shape its trajectory.
This is heavy stuff,
It is.
but it's also incredibly exciting.
It is exciting.
We're on the cusp of a new era,
Yes.
and we have the opportunity to make it a positive one.
we do.
I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
I agree.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And it's important to give our listeners a chance to reflect on all that we've discussed.
I think that's a great idea.
We've been going through this incredible text about AI, talking about how it could change healthcare and education, even looking at its role in solving these huge problems like climate change and getting clean water to everyone.
Yeah. And it's really amazing how far AI has come.
It is.
And one of the biggest takeaways for me from this whole discussion is that the future of AI, well, it's not set in stone.
Right?
It's something that we're shaping right now.
That's a point this source really hits hard.
It does.
It's not just about watching AI happen, it's about realizing we can actually guide its development, make sure it's used for good.
Exactly.
But how do we actually do that? It feels so big, so complicated.
Well, this source gives us some concrete steps we can
Well,
take.
okay.
One of the most important is having this global conversation about AI ethics and how to govern it. It means bringing together people from different fields, policymakers, industry leaders, even everyday people,
Right.
to talk about the good and bad of AI, to set guidelines for how it's developed and used responsibly.
So it's not just about the tech itself. It's about figuring out how we want AI to fit into the world.
Exactly.
And that has to come from different voices, not just the people building it.
Absolutely. And this source really stresses how important it is to have everyone's voice heard in this conversation about AI.
Yeah.
It's about making sure those who are most affected by AI are included
Right.
and making sure its development reflects different perspectives and values.
Makes sense. We have to consider how AI affects different communities, cultures, economic groups.
Exactly.
It's about making sure AI benefits everyone, not just a few.
This source really makes us think about who's making decisions about AI.
Yeah.
Are we including people from different backgrounds, from developing countries, from communities that might be hit harder by AI?
It's such an important question.
It is.
And one I think everyone listening should ask themselves.
Yes.
If you're involved with AI in any way, or even just interested in its impact, think about who's missing from the conversation.
Yeah.
How can we get those voices heard?
And the source also highlights how important education and public awareness are when it comes to AI.
Okay.
It's not just about training the next wave of AI experts. It's about giving everyone the knowledge and critical thinking skills to understand AI
Uh-huh.
and to participate in these discussions about its role in our lives.
That's so true. I remember when AI felt so far off, so abstract.
Right.
But now it's becoming clear that it's something we all need to be engaged with, no matter what our background is.
This source wants us to see AI not just as a technological advancement, but as a societal one.
Yeah.
It's about realizing the choices we make about AI today will have a huge impact on the world we're creating for ourselves and future generations.
I think that's a perfect way to wrap things up.
It is.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening for me, and I hope it has been for our listeners too.
We need to.
We've seen the amazing potential of AI, but also the very real challenges and ethical questions that come with it.
And most importantly, we've highlighted that the future of AI isn't fixed. It's a future we're all actively shaping, and it needs our thoughtful engagement, our critical thinking, and our commitment to making sure AI is used for the good of all.
So as you go about your day, think about how AI is already a part of your life and how you can be a part of shaping this powerful technology.
It's in our hands.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.